Hello, welcome to Beyond the Plate with Chef Amrita Raichand Hrishi K. It's all about food, and in the festive season, it's about some special food and stories. And I have to say this, my co-host, my co-anchor looking resplendent because it's Diwali time. Greetings of the festive season, Amrita. I know we're still a few days away from Dhanteras and Diwali, but the festive spirit is in the air. How are you doing, and how are your travels to Jammu?
Thank you, Rishi, for that lovely compliment. Yes, festivities have begun, and I am still recovering from the very quick but amazing Srinagar trip that I just went for, and which is why this Zoom call today, for the first time, I think, on Beyond the Plate. We've always been together in the studio. My son got selected for the national football tournament, for which, and then we just flew down to surprise him on his 16th birthday, which we spoke about last week. So it was really special. And now we're back. Ready for the festivities. And today, I'm very excited about talking about the largest festival that India celebrates. I think perhaps easily can be the largest festival, Deepavali. Shall we start?
Absolutely. Now, the name of our beloved festival is derived from Deep, which means light, and Avali, which means a row of lights. It falls on the 15th day of the Hindu month of Kartik, hence the dates vary every year on our English calendar. But, Amrita, you want to shed some light on this? Like in the south, Keralites, Malayalis celebrate Onam as an important beginning of the harvest festival. I believe back in the sands of time, Diwali could be traced back to that, an important harvest festival.
Well, I believe so. Well, theories can keep going on, but nobody really knows for sure. It just started about 2,500 years ago, the celebration of Diwali. But having said that, there are a lot of mythological and historic reasons for celebrating this festival across India. And today, I really want to delve into the main festival and all the 5 days that comprise this beautiful festival of Diwali. So, shall we begin?
Yeah, let's talk about mythology first. Why it's celebrated in large parts of India, in particular in the north.
Well, we all know the main reason, right? We all know the Pavli commemorates the day Lord Rama, his wife Sita, and brother Lakshman returned to Ayodhya after 14 years of exile, after, of course, defeating Ravan. To welcome them, the villagers lit up a part of for Rama, besides also lighting up the whole of Ayodhya with diyas. Having said that, I'm sure most Mumbaikars, and I think everybody in metros, for them, Diwali just means Diwali parties, or must I say card parties, right? But actually, Rishi, if you go down to it, um, each and every day of Diwali signifies a lot. It's like I mentioned earlier, it's marked by 5 important days. And all these days have a beautiful history, beautiful mythology surrounding it. And I thought, let's talk about it today on Beyond the Plate, because it's nice to know, it's nice when you have, sometimes I feel I'm getting a little regressive going back into time and, talking about these old mythological stories. But I just feel that it's nice to have a little base of why we celebrate these festivities with the aplomb that we do. So a
Yeah,
lot
that's
of
great.
coming up
I'd
today.
like to actually interrupt here and talk about why it's celebrated in Tamil Nadu. Much as we revere Lord Ram and there are temples all over, it's actually because Lord Sri Krishna killed the demon Narkasur, the Asur Narkasur, with the Sudarshan Chakra. And it's celebrated early in the morning. So we get up before sunrise, we do our prayers and our pujas, light our diyas, and if we have to burst a few crackers, then it's done before sunrise. So all of you in Mumbai and Delhi and other metros, if you hear crackers being burst at 5 in the morning before sunrise, take it for granted that it probably be Tamils in your area. And nothing much happens in the evening. We do not burst crackers in the evening unless there's some leftovers. Of course, we visit people, that's about it. But you said 5 days of ritualistic celebrations. Let's start with day one, which is Dhanteras, Amrita.
Yes, nice. It was nice to hear about your, the way you all celebrate Diwali, and I really didn't know it was you guys who started all the cracking up in the morning. So nice to hear that. And what about Dhanteras? What do you think Dhanteras is all about? For us, it's all about just buying new jewels and cars,
Yeah.
right? But guess what? There is a beautiful mythology story behind why all of this started. Apparently, it was predicted that the son of a monarch named King Hima would die on the fourth day of his marriage from a snake bite. Now, when his wife heard this, she sang to him so he won't fall asleep. And to counter the prediction, she kept all her jewelry, all her ornaments, all the brass, all the utensils that she had. She placed them all at the door, along with a lot of lit lamps. Now, when Yama, the god of death, came in the form of a serpent to bite King Hima's son, he could not enter, as if he was blinded by the gleam of all those metals, the gold, the silver, and the brass. This led people to believe that anything made of metal bought on this day can help them ward off evil, have a positive effect on health, bring good luck and wealth. Naturally, we Indians love everything to be larger than life. Hence, this ritual easily got adapted into buying jewels, shiny new vessels, silver, TV, and other home appliances, cars. All of this happens on Dhanteras, and I'm sure we all know that retail outlets clearly love this day.
Totally. Next, of course, is Naraka Chaturdashi, which is known as Choti Diwali. It's also has a connotation with the goddess Kali.
Yes, basically this festival, we call it Choti Diwali. It's actually very popularly known as Kali Chaudas, where Kali means eternal and Chaudas means 14th, since it is celebrated on the 14th day of the lunar month. Now, Kali Chaudas is the day to abolish laziness and evil, which creates hell in our lives, and shine light on life. So the god of death, Yama, is also worshipped on this day by lighting a lamp, which is believed to protect one from the sufferings of Naraka, hell. That's why Naraka Chaturdashi.
Nice. And of course, Lakshmi Pujan, which is Badi Diwali, is where most of India goes crazy, bursting firecrackers. It's the darkest day under the Hindu lunar calendar, and some believe it to be the celebration of the marriage of Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, with Lord Vishnu. Others say use it as a celebration of her birthday, as Lakshmi ji is said to have been born on the new moon day of Kartik. Hence, lots of families, including mine, we do a Lakshmi Puja on Diwali. And it is believed that goddess Lakshmi comes to earth that day and blesses those who light diyas, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah, and not just who light theirs, who clean up their homes. There is a whole story about this also, which I would love to tell you. Not only those who light theirs, but keep their homes sparkling clean, which is why all that Diwali cleaning, the beautifully decorating of homes, keeping our doors and windows open, lighting rows of diyas on the steps leading up to our homes, our windowsills, our terraces, ledges, gardens, basically all entry points to your house, is all in the hope that Lakshmi Ma easily finds her way into our homes. So we also wear new clothes as the evening approaches. Pujas are offered. I don't know if you've seen this. Actually, you South Indians also must be doing this. You light these large diyas, which have the wick on all four directions
Yep.
in
Correct.
front of goddess Lakshmi. Now, while this happens, it's a very interesting theory, so that our lives are filled with light from all directions. Isn't it a beautiful thing? We look at a diya and we see just the beauty of it and the way it's made, but we never think why something like this was actually made. So that's the reason why it was made. Of course, then we also offer haldi, we offer kumkum, sindoor, all of this to Mahalakshmi, and we invoke her and hope that we have a good year ahead.
Okay, now let's come to Govardhan Puja. It obviously has something to do with Lord Krishna. And according to Hindu mythology, he raised Govardhan, the mountain, the Parvat, on his little finger on this date to save the people of Vrindavan from the wrath of Lord Indra, the rain god. People started to worship the Govardhan mountain with great enthusiasm, and Lord Krishna was given the name Govardhan Dhari and Giridhari. Hence, on this day, Chappan Bhog, which is Sri Krishna's favorite, are offered to Pandits, also distributed amongst the needy. And that's really the Hindu New Year. And I'd like you to nicely, beautifully culminate this with what Bhai Dooj really is,
Yes,
Amrita.
yes, Rishi. So the final day, the fifth day, is Bhai Dooj, and this celebration also has a beautiful story behind it. Yamraj, of course, has been spoken about a lot in this entire episode, and this theory is also based around Yamraj. Now, Yamraj had a lovely sister called Yamuna, and he never had time to meet her. So finally, after many attempts, when he actually came to see her, she greeted him with a lot of sweets, did his aarti, put the tilak, and she showered a lot of love to him. He was so impressed with the love that he said, my darling sister, ask me for anything and I will grant it. So guess what she said? She said, I want you to grant one day every year where you are going to come and see me. And not only you, every brother will go to visit his sister and celebrate the honor of kinship between them. Isn't that a
It's
beautiful
lovely.
story?
That's really lovely. That's Bhai Dooj.
That's
Guys,
my.
the Ask Amrita section comes up at the end of the show. You want to ask anything about Diwali, about the food and the festivities that one shares during Diwali, Bhai Dooj, Lakshmi Pujan, please go ahead. 9833943943. 9833943943. And that WhatsApp line works in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, and Chennai. So you can send us a question for Amrita and she will answer it. We come to you Mondays 8:15 a.m. in audio form on 94.3 Radio 1 in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, and Chennai. And 2 days later on Wednesday on the Radio 1 International YouTube channel is the entire video episode. So I think before we go into the recipe of the day, there's some all-important trivia that you want to give us about how many countries actually celebrate Diwali.
Quite interesting. There are 10 countries that celebrate Diwali: Fiji, Guyana, Malaysia, Singapore, Myanmar, Mauritius, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Trinidad, and Jamaica. Obviously, this is because these countries have a large Hindu population, and many of them have Indian origin PM or presidents. And if I'm not mistaken, if they are not, they will very shortly. What do you think?
Yeah, the way it is going, lots of Indians are taking, or people of Indian descent are taking over the world. Yeah, and I think the beauty is it's the only festival where both savory and sweet foods have a face-off in leading up to the big five, isn't it, Amrita?
All right. So, yes, coming to food, which is the most important part of Beyond the Plate and is also one of the most important parts of any Indian festival, especially Diwali. This festival particularly has great savory snacks being made and also a lot of sweets. So believe it or not, about 10 to 12 days before Diwali actually happens, women start making, and a lot of men also now, thankfully, start making a lot of savory snacks. I think this has also got to do with the fact that very often we have unannounced guests and a lot of guests that keep coming over to greet you during Diwali. So I'm guessing the idea behind making all of these dry snacks was the fact that they could be stored easily. You have the chakli, the gujia, the tekwa also, which is a Bihari thing. There's shakar para, which is sweet and savory. There's gujias. So all of these snacks can last a long, long time. So a lot of people make it. I have made this time some great snacks, which you can see on my YouTube channel as well. And of course, there is the typical halwa and the puri and the mithais, the barfis that are made during Diwali. So all of this just keeps happening. But the latest trend, Rishi, nowadays, like I spoke about, right? Mostly we are talking about Diwali parties, the card parties. So what I'm noticing is that people are moving away from all the traditions and going towards these party starters that are, easy to pick up and eat while you're having a Diwali party when there are lots of people, when you have cards going on, something that you can pick and eat. And when I'm around, it also has to be healthy, which is what is my recipe of the week this time as well.
The recipe of the week comes to you on the video form in the 94.3 Radio 1 India Instagram page, as well as the chef Amrita Raichand, at Amrita Raichand Instagram page. There's a slightly longer version on YouTube, which is Amrita Raichand Chef and Beyond. It's beautiful. She films it in her home kitchen studio. It has that warmth. So you're going to give us a party starter, Jowar Feta Thins. Let's have the recipe.
Like I said, it has to be healthy. And very often people want to serve these bites, which, they just take something, they'll just take biscuit, base, something which is not healthy. Now, these Jawar Feta Thins, as the name suggests, is made with Jawar, the base. And it is so easy to make it, Rishi. Like you've nicely told everybody, the video is available. But I'll quickly give the recipe first of the base and then what goes in as a topping. So we have Jawar flour, obviously, some mixed herbs, some salt, chili flakes, a little bit of oil for that flakiness. So, and then water as required to make the dough. So first things first, you will preheat the oven. You can make these in the pan as well, but you won't get that real flakiness, which is something that you desire in this recipe. But try it out. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a bowl, you're going to add the jawar flour, mix or add all of these herbs and salt, and then just rub it with your fingers for that crumbly feel when you add the oil. Then you're going to slowly add some water and make a semi-soft dough. You cover it with a muslin cloth and let it rest for 8 to 10 minutes. Then you take small portions, roll it out. Now you will struggle initially to roll and you think it's going to break apart, but nothing is going to happen because I have a great trick for you. You're going to roll it out nice and thin with some dried flour on the counter, otherwise it'll get stuck. Then you take a cookie cutter, a round cookie cutter, and cut out roundels from it. And then you just add it, you just place it on a baking tray, bake it in that preheated oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. And Hrishi, I promise you, if I was in the studio, my plan was to bring these for you, but unfortunately I'm not. But when I see you next, you will have them. They are yummy, they're delicious, and they're crunchy, and they're light. Now, in another pan, you're going to take a little bit of butter, a little bit of oil, and take some sliced onions and slowly cook them down with some sugar to get that nice caramelization. It needs to turn jammy, which is when you know it's ready. You can add a sprinkle of oil, of salt, if you like. Once that is done, you cool it completely. Then all you do is you take your jawar thin roundel, you add a little bit of this caramelized onion mixture that you have prepared, and then you top it with feta cheese, and it is divine.
Voila, sounds yummy, and I can't wait for you to bring me some leftover stock when you come next time around. And thank you, Ayla De Mero, for writing to 9833943943, 9833943943. You can put your question in right now along with your name. All questions get answered. Hi Amrita, my friend suggested me to go on a rice diet because I want to gain weight. But all that I've heard from others and researched is that rice as a diet is only to lose weight. What's your opinion and what are your suggestions on this?
Hrishi, if you notice, I'm going to address Ayla immediately, but if you notice, I added 2 questions this time, and I know you only give me time for one, but both these questions have a very similar answer. So if you don't mind, could you just narrate the second question also, which is from Shiba, and then I'm going to answer both of them together.
Fair enough. Shiba says, Amrita, I'm a huge fan of pasta. I could eat it almost every day. Share some tips to make healthier pasta without compromising taste and satisfaction.
Okay, so why did I take both these questions together? Because they both talk about one ingredient. One is obsessing to lose weight, which is Ayla, and she wants to go on a rice diet and is confused. The other is obsessing with pasta and just wants different varieties of pasta. Now, my answer to both of them is very generic, that you have to stop obsessing about these things. First of all, there is nothing in the world that can make you lose weight. That one thing that any doctor, any nutritionist, anybody tells, even God comes and tells you, I will fight God for you, and tell him that there is not that one thing that you can do to lose weight, because it is an entire lifestyle change. It's to do with your food. It is to do with your exercise. You have to do many things. And if you decide mentally that you're going to lose weight, I promise you, you can eat everything in moderation. Whether it's rice, whether it's roti, whether it's pasta, you will lose weight. Ayla. Shiba, why are you obsessing with pasta? That's not the end of the world. If you want to have a pasta, then why healthier pasta? Just enjoy it the way you want to. Just grab that delicious sauce, the pasta, the kind of sauce that you want and the kind of pasta you want. And on the other days, just eat something else. If you're also wanting to eat pasta every day, I would request you to have it only for lunch. That's the only thing you need to focus. Do not have it at night, because it's just way too much food to have at night. So to both of you, please don't obsess with that one thing, because that one thing is never going to completely give you nutrition, will not complete all the requirements of your body, and will definitely not make you lose weight.
We hope you loved our festive Diwali edition of Beyond the Plate. More festivities to come up in the weeks to come. You can trust us to give you stories and lots of food talk. Chef Amrita Raichand and me shall be back on Beyond the Plate next week, 8:15 a.m., 94.3 Radio 1, Bombay, Delhi, Chennai, as well as Bengaluru. I really appreciate your time and have a wonderful, wonderful day ahead. And see you soon.
Thank you, Hrishi. See you very, very soon.
94.3 Radio 1.